Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Federico Talks Watches. Today I'm once again answering some of your questions, such as, with the current price of gold, has that affected the price of watches? All that and more in today's episode. Now, of course, before we get started, customary wristwatch check. Today I'm wearing my Breguet Marine 5187 previous generation, one of my all-time favorite watches in my collection. And also, guys, don't forget to check out delraywatch.com. We got some pretty rare pieces in stock all of a sudden, including a very rarely seen in the United States Tudor mini sub from 1986, basically a scaled-down Tudor Submariner, which is an affordable version of a Rolex Submariner, never really sold in the United States, but if you have a girlfriend or you are a female that loves a dive watch, then this is super cool. We also got in a Breguet Marine just like this one, and you guys know how much I adore it. I think it's one of the best go anywhere, do anything watches. It's a high-end luxury sports watch with some elegance. And we also got in a Gerald Charles chronograph, designed by Gerald Genta right before he died. Gerald Charles was his last foray into the watch world. There's very little information on these on the internet. Very few were made, and this rubber-coated example is the first one I've actually ever held in my hand. And it's available at delraywatch.com, the best place for a watch geek to buy a watch. Link in the description below. Anyway, guys, you know the spiel. These are the questions you ask me on my Instagram account at Federico Talks Watches. A few times a month, a Q&A picture pops up. When you see that, feel free to ask your questions. When I get enough questions, I take the picture down. Please do not DM me. I do not check them. And in no particular order, we start with Targa Florio. And he said, question, can a Speedmaster Pro work as a formal watch on black croc, deployment buckle, or black leather strap? Targa, here's the thing. If you ask the general public, they will say yes. But if you ask me, I'll say no. I do love a Speedmaster on black alligator, or just black calf. I think it's a handsome watch, but to call it formal, in my opinion, is a stretch. Then again, societal norms have kind of made formal less and less relevant, and have, things that are a lot more casual back then are considered formal now. But me personally, no. Can you wear it in a business suit? Sure, I think that looks cool. Can you wear it with a tux? A lot of people will say yes. I think it'll look awful. Then again, I'm a much more classically styled person when it comes to that stuff. But to answer your question, I think it would look great on black alligator, but to call it formal, that is quite a stretch. DJ Bear. How does the increased gold prices affect watch prices? Are people melting down more watches now? So I'm going to talk specifically about the pre-owned market. Gold prices are absolutely affecting watch prices. I did something last week when gold hit 4,400 that I've done very few times in my career, and that is I melted 9 watches. I got over $70,000 in gold, and that's not even counting the movements. I realized a few of them were actually priced on my website for less than the price of gold. As a watch dealer, I don't generally tend to pay too much attention to the price of gold. My job is to sell watches, not scrap them. But when gold hits above 4,000, I had to take a look at my inventory. And I made a hefty profit, because even though there are people that wouldn't buy a watch listed for 10,000, if I melted it, I'd get 11,500 plus an extra $1,000 for the movement that I'd throw up on eBay. So yes, gold prices absolutely are affecting watch prices. Dealers are starting to pay attention to how much the watches weigh, and you're going to be seeing a lot of loose dials and movements on eBay, because believe it or not, sometimes customer doesn't even want to buy it for below the gold price, or they don't know what the gold price is, and as a dealer, it's just easier for us to melt it, not warranty it, and move on. As much as I hate doing it as a collector, business is business. Camille Mrouet. Hey Fed, what is the watch with the green strap we often see on your desk? I think you're referring to this one. This is my rotary watch, my first ever automatic watch I ever purchased for myself. I got it right before working at Cartier because it looked like a Cartier, and I got it on Amazon for like $250. Now, Rotary is an inexpensive brand based in the UK that makes Swiss watches. Mine is housing an ETA 2824, and while it's not really worth anything, it does have a lot of sentimental value, and I like to keep it here on my desk because it reminds me of kind of where I came from. I do wear it from time to time, but very rarely. Fabs Uno. Hey Fed, what's your take on the IWC Portofino? Is it worth the money? I get it's not in-house, but for what they're going for on the secondary market, it looks like a solid deal. Fabs, very important. Great question as well. Brand new, it's an awful deal. It's like a $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 ETA watch. But for $2,000 all of a sudden, on the pre-owned market, $2,000 to $3,000, we're talking half the price. It's really not a bad deal. It's IWC's entry-level watch. It's a simple-looking watch. I find it very elegant. There's nothing special about the movement, and people could even argue that at $2,500 it's not a good value, but it's still made by IWC, it's still handsome. I actually think it's a pretty decent value at $2,500, even though it's just a standard ETA/Sellita movement, but at $4,000 to $5,000 to $6,000 brand new, absolutely not. This is the perfect example of a watch you should buy pre-owned and not brand new. And then last but not least, Hanlon84. Can you let me know what you consider is the best, thinnest chronograph movement on the market now and in the past? So this is interesting because chronographs and thin movements don't tend to go together. Chronographs are usually quite chunky. Even though there's been a lot of innovation, I mean, you could consider the manual wind El Primero to be quite handsome, where they take the automatic off. Bulgari's been making some cool thin chronographs, but my favorite has always been just the Lemania chronograph movement. Yes, it's not the thinnest, but it's time-tested. I think it's a very elegant movement. It's not particularly chunky, and it's just a classic. But that's just my 2 cents. Anyway, guys, that's it for me today. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. It really does help. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any more content. And of course, I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.